What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. I wanted to make this video to really talk about some of the some of the updates anyway, because I know I kind of did a candid video the other day, but really talk about some updates, and then also what we'll be covering for the rest of this month, and maybe even following along into October, in the coming months. So man, it's so much that's going on and so much that's happening. I feel like I have a lot to say, but I'm just gonna say first and foremost, make sure you come to the public forum. It's gonna be on Friday, 7 p.m. EST via Zoom. You can actually register to come to the event on wrong thing. Register to come to the event at blacklesbianarchives.wix.com/info, and it's in the upcoming section for events. So the first thing you see, you can click there, RSVP, and then it'll send you a link, and that is what we'll be going and doing on Friday. So make sure you come through for that for sure. We got a team now. We got a team. We have a council now, and a couple, committee members and things like that. So that's pretty dope. So we've been working on that. We're doing that behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Also, I'm going to be putting up videos, like I said, behind the scene videos about the van build and, some other things that we're doing, and we got popping and stuff like that, and working on the publication. We will, you know what, I'm not even gonna announce it. I'm not gonna announce it yet. I'm gonna keep you posted. I'm not gonna even announce it yet because it's not necessarily confirmed, so I'm gonna just wait to announce this. But we definitely got some stuff coming up in 2021. I'm gonna just say that. So just keep that in, keep that posted. But what I really want to focus on this month is Affinity. It's Affinity's 25th anniversary. They had their homecoming event, but I wasn't able to make the homecoming event, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure it was beautiful. I'm pretty sure it was dope. And I just, looking at Affinity, I was looking back at Affinity and just, the impact that it's had on my life, since I came to know it. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that and just how I got to Chicago and just really what Affinity meant for me. And then for the rest of this month, I'll be covering some of the people that I grew to know, whether they're passed away or they're still living, but just some of the people that I grew to know and respect, and kind of share some of their stories as well. Well, first of all, let's just talk about Chicago. And I know y'all probably heard, if you've seen videos of me in interviews and stuff like that, just me talking about, Chicago and, how I got there and as far as the exhibit. But I was in Virginia before I came to Chicago. I was in Williamsburg, Virginia, with my auntie, and staying out there with her for a little bit. And I got a lot of clarity on things. That was actually after I had my first spiritual awakening. This was actually the second real spiritual awakening that I had, because I had so much time to just be alone. I had a lot of time to just get quiet and really figure out who I was and where I wanted to be. And in that and digging and trying to know and figure out more about myself, BLA came to form. Like I said, after seeing that documentary about these bars closing and just how we connect and or where we're connecting at, these are the questions that really sparked and came through. And so when I was looking at the places that I wanted to go, and I know I talk about NYC, Chicago, some other DC, I was like, all right, well, which place do I want to live in? You know what I'm saying? And I kind of, did my thing on that. And then I was like, you know what? Something had already been calling me to Chicago in the first place. You know what I mean? Something that had already been really telling me to come. And I had already been, because at the time I was actually talking to this girl. And so I would go back and forth to go visit and things like that. So when I finally got out to Chicago, I don't know, the energy, summertime Chicago, y'all, for those of y'all that haven't been out in Chicago in the summertime, it's crazy, yo. The love out there, the people, you know what I'm saying? The energy of Summertime Shy is like amazing because it's so goddamn cold all the damn time. So, you know what I'm saying? When we do get to experience, or we did get to experience that heat, it was like, it was really, it was just on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? It kind of felt like a family reunion on 10 every day. You know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, I talk about the exhibit and going to, you know, the dark spaces of the 70s, I think it was 70s, no, 60s, 70s, and 80s or something like that. And how that experience changed my life. And, you know, I kind of go through and talk about how, you know, I can't come to met, you know, Tracy Bame and Imani and things like that. And I honestly, me just talking about Tracy and the fact that Tracy created, you know, was one of the co-founders of Windy City Times, and even her story and her need and feeling like, especially with everything that was going on at the time when they started it, you know, the need to document and really preserve these stories of, you know, people in the community, really, it really struck me because I'm like, oh wow, like that's the same thing. The way you were feeling when you first started was the same way I was feeling, even though there wasn't really anything I could say chaotic going on. I guess the world is fucking chaotic. I mean, if you really think about it, but it was nothing. It was really nothing for me. I just felt like there was a need, you know, to be able to, like, you know, share these stories, tell these stories, you know, in a way that's coming from, I guess, internalized or I guess on a sense being able to feel into the stories versus you know, just broadcast the stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely very much so a storyteller, in that fact and sense. It's like I love to share stories, you know what I mean? And I feel like storytelling has been a part of my own history for years and centuries, you know what I mean? But when I got to Affinity, I don't know if I met Imani. You know what? I met Imani at the Black Gold affair that they had. The second one, third, I think it was. I met her there. You know, I was going to go do photography there. I think we talked to each other on the phone, I think, before, and then we went to the affair. I don't know. I'm not sure. I had to talk to Imani and kind of like, but I think that's how it was. Like, you know, we had talked on the phone. They had that coming up, and I don't know. It was something like that. Either way, I just remember going to that Black Gold affair, meeting Imani, seeing Imani, and I think instantly, you know, from that moment, me and Imani connected, and I knew that, you know, we were gonna be, you know, that was my homie, like that. You know, Imani definitely looked out for me while I was in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? She definitely supported. She was very, very supportive of anything that I brought to her. You know what I'm saying? She was like a mentor to me. You know what I mean? And it was a beautiful thing. It was beautiful. Y'all. Sorry, my voice. I need some water, baby. Hold on. I think really what I'm getting at is like, and what I want y'all to know, because I am going to be starting the actual series, because a lot of people have been asking me, like, when are you going to, you know, start talking about your process and, you know, how, you know, like really get into it. And I'm ready. I'm ready now. I wasn't ready then, but I'm definitely ready now. You know what I'm saying? To really talk to y'all about, you know, some of the things that I experienced when I first started this thing up, and really got things in motion. But I think the one thing that I could say for right now that really truly stuck with me is just like having like this innate curiosity to want to explore, to want to dig, and to want to know more about who I am. And it doesn't necessarily, knowing more about who I am doesn't necessarily come from my own personal background, but it comes from the community that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? The community that is closest to home for me. And man, you know what I mean? Like that, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like, you know, reading these stories and, you know, feeling like reading these, not only just reading these stories to read these stories, but reading these stories and feeling like you in these stories, or talking to people, you know, that were a part of this history and is still a part of this history, who were there when it all went down, and feeling like you were sitting right there as it happened, you know. And so, you know, I'm not gonna make this video too long, but I did want to make this as an introduction to, you know, Affinity, and really thank Affinity for, you know what I'm saying, the work and the love and the support and the nurture and the care that they've put into the Black LGBTQ community. And especially just for Black lesbian women, like, you know, y'all like, it's so strong. Like I don't even really have any words. Like, it's just so strong. Like, the energy is so strong, and the fact that, you know, y'all were able to withstand like the test of time, you know, and go through so many changes and still remain, you know, true to who you are and true to what y'all stood for and true to why y'all started in the first place is beyond me. It's amazing to me. And, you know, I look up to that. Like, I myself, especially, you know, in building teams and growing in the work that I do, I always keep y'all in mind, you know, even not even just the people that are still living, but even the stories and things that I know about the people who lived in the past, you know, who grew Affinity, you know, from Jackie Anderson to Vernita Gray to Renee Ogletree to, you know what I'm saying, like all these people, the chef, you know what I'm saying, like all these people who all these women who, you know, really had a love. I want to give a shout out to Imani. I want to give a shout out to Chris. I want to give a shout out to Yvonne. Enina J, fucking Lucy Lou, you know what I mean? Everybody, you know, everybody that's, you know, the whole board, you know what I'm saying? And new members and everybody that's joining in. Like, I just really want to thank y'all for, you know what I mean, coming through and, you know, just keeping the legacy, keeping that marathon going, you know what I mean? Like, we really do need that. And honestly, I encourage anybody who's watching this, you know, if especially, you know, my young bulls, you know what I'm saying, and even, you know, people in my generation and my age, you know, to go to Affinity and learn about Affinity and what it meant and what it means for Chicago. You know what I mean? You have to, one thing I also do want to stress too, and not just curiosity, but like, you have to dig. You have to know. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying, is wandering around not knowing where we come from. We not knowing who came before us, and then we just come and, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a slap in the ancestors' face. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get to know me. You don't want to get to know what we did and who I am, but you want to build and do. No, baby. No. That's not how this shit goes. So I definitely say, you know, y'all definitely get to know yourself, get to know who you are, get to know where you come from, and not just in your own personal family, but the community that you serve. Why? Who, what, where, when, why? You know what I mean? And don't be afraid of what you find. Don't be afraid to change your mind. Don't be afraid to, you know what I mean? Keep yourself open and receptive to new information. Keep yourself open and receptive to that self-discovery. You know what I mean? Because we're in a time of deep transformation, and it's going to be very easy, you know, for a lot of people to fall into, you know, the waves and the currents of this chaos, especially if you're not grounded in self. If you're not grounded in self, it's very easy to get mixed up. So study your history, Study her story, you know, study the people that come before you, so you know where you've been, you know where we've all been, you know where you're at, and you know where you're going. But yeah, that's really all I have. I just want to kind of to come in and say that, you know, and once again, thank y'all so much for coming through. Like I said, I will be covering my bad, y'all. I'm trying to get mucus out of my system. I've been fasting, or about to start up some things, or just switch some things up. So my body is like, get rid of my toxins. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah. So I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm gonna see y'all later. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep y'all updated with these videos and just the process and the behind the scenes joint. Make sure y'all tell people about this Patreon account, because it would be pretty fucking dope. Also, we will be this account for BLA for right now. I'm gonna be fundraising for this van. So you will see more videos and more information about that. The van, the publication, all encompassing BLA. So I'll see y'all soon.